The UFC is going to Oklahoma City. Kamaru Usman is taking on DDP. And I'm here to give you all my picks, predictions, and a betting guide to every single fight. I'm your host, Rob. This is Target MMA. First up on UFC Fight Night, Dricus taking on Kamaru Usman. We have DIONE BARBOSA taking on Anna MELISANO. This is a short notice replacement. DIONE BARBOSA was supposed to take on Veronica Hardy. And disclosure, I was going to pick DIONE BARBOSA. Then I watched Hardy. I was like, man, I'm picking Hardy. I flipped that. But here, this is a brand new fight with a brand new debutant. And Anna MELISANO, she's no slouch. She's typically in Fury FC. She has a nice boxing Muay Thai background. And she has good fundamentals. She has one loss on her record where she was submitted in her first professional debut. And I tried to find the fight, couldn't find the fight, couldn't really find too much detail of it. Other than what I saw in her other breakdowns and her other fights, she has very good lateral movement. She's going to be a big girl. They're classified as 5'6" each, but Anna is pretty big. She's a big bullying style. She has a tremendous reach advantage. Talking about 70-inch to 66.5. Now, it's striker versus grappler. The problem is, yes, Anna was submitted before, but we don't know what that takedown defense looks like. She could have gotten dropped, neck snatched. We don't know what the takedown defense is. Now, DIONE BARBOSA, she is 9-4 in her professional career. She is 34, so she's gonna be the older woman here, and her striking is subpar. She does mix in some leg kicks. She wants to close the distance, do some judo throws, or from the hips, or she does snatch up legs. She mixes in Greco-Roman with her folk style wrestling. She can be taken down, not too much of a worry here, but when she's on the ground, she is a dominant grappler, whether she's on her back or on top. She has good head movement when she is striking, but like I said, striking is not very good. I wish I knew more about Anna's takedown defense to pick here, but we gotta go with DIONE BARBOSA. She was on the card already. She was ready to fight here, and she's the natural flyweight, by the way. Anna typically fights at strawweight, so, but regardless, she should look big out there. She looks menacing in front of everybody else. She pumps her jabs out there, got a nice 1-2, couple of uppercuts too. I'm gonna pick DIONE BARBOSA, but with some hesitation. Although I like DIONE, I like the witch, but it's a question mark. We don't know what Anna's takedown defense looks like to give a proper pick here. I will lean DIONE, but with some hesitation, because that if we saw just a smidgen, little glimpse of takedown defense from Anna, I would pick Anna. But the suspect unknown, it's enough for me to pick DIONE BARBOSA here. Minus 370. It's a little wide, but it's a short notice replacement debutante. We have a couple of big boys going at it next. We have RJ Harris taking on ALVIN HINES. ALVIN HINES is making his sophomore debut. Harris is making his debut. Now, RJ Harris, Richard, the Hammer, is 5-0. He's a striker, but you'll see he has a couple of submissions on his belt because he likes to pressure forward, and when you duck your head, he likes to snatch up a guillotine. But he could do some takedowns. He likes to strike forward, come forward, 1-2s, swing a little heavy. He does have heavy hands, and he wants to put you up against the cage and clinch, take you down with some throws. He's a bit sloppy, albeit, and he's pretty hittable. He pretty much just walks forward and gets hit. He swings very heavy, as I said, so it's very strange. He is more of a boxer than a striker, but he has zero get-up game. If he's taken down, he has zero get-up game. We've seen that in one of his fights that I was just watching. This is a brand new fight. Again, ALVIN HINES was originally on this card. ALVIN HINES, he just came off of his decision loss to Renato Diniz, where he was pieced up early in the first round, but he was good. He stayed safe. He was durable for the most part. He was beat up pretty bad. You see his eyes swelling up, a couple cuts. He cut pretty easily. He keeps a nice high guard, and he uses a lot of feints. He has decent heavy hands, but it's like a mirror match. He comes forward, but he wants to shoot doubles. He's actually a much better wrestler, in my opinion, than RJ Harris. They both have submissions, but if I was to say this is going to a decision, they're both going to get tired, and they're going to do typical heavyweight things. They're going to swing heavy, miss a couple of shots, even though ALVIN HINES is a little bit more accurate than RJ Harris. No odds yet for this fight, but I'm going to lean ALVIN HINES. Although he had a loss in the UFC, he still has more experience, I suppose. 7-1, but he was undefeated before that Genado Diniz loss, which is not a terrible loss. Diniz is a pretty good kickboxer. He has some power, so he's putting people out. He didn't put HINES out. HINES dogged it out, although he lost. I'm going with ALVIN HINES probably by decision here. He's going to be much shorter, less reach, but again, Harris gets hit, he gets tired, and he can be taken down. Zero get-up game. So, ALVIN HINES for the win. Next up, we have a flyweight bout between ALDEN CORIA and Stuart NICOLL. I'm looking at the UFC official webpage, and I'm trying to find the odds. I'm trying to put this together, and I see ALDEN CORIA as a dog. And I'm looking through the records. I'm like, a dog? There's something wrong because they didn't have odds for Stuart NICOLL. Then you go on different apps, and you can see that is completely wrong. The odds are disgustingly wide. Minus 1,200, and he should be. After he was a dog against Costa, and then what he did to Costa, there's no reason to be a dog here. This man is a menace. Let me just pull up this page. He is 12-3. He is coming off of that decision win to Louis Garul. Now, he has a 67-inch reach, and he is a freestyle fighter. He has a nice in-and-out style. He utilizes his leg kicks. He has good striking. He's pretty accurate. He likes to pump the jab out there. He has good takedown defense, but if he is taken down, he has good scrambles. Decent head movement. He's very, very fast. He likes to use a lot of fakes and feints. And then when he does explode, he has good combinations. He's taking on Stuart NICOLL, who has not translated his 8-0 record to the UFC. He's coming off 3 losses. He lost to Jesus Aguilar, Lucas Rocha, and Alessandro Costa. Now, if you watch that Costa fight, as I just watched it, it was a squash match, as this one should be. The body shots ultimately took Stuart down. He's a little goofy, the way he just constantly smiles, but you could see when something's affecting him. He does not like it. Like, if something hits him, he starts smiling, laughing, like, yeah, that did hurt. It hurt. It hurt. He's plus 630, but for good reason. You know, this might be the fight to just cut him after this. You know, he was pretty dominant. He was on a 4-fight knockout win streak. First round, second round, first round, first round. This man was pretty good in beatdown promotions. But now, you know, he can be backed up, and he has very unconventional striking. He has good combinations, good takedown defense. He will shoot double legs. I don't think that should be a problem here. The only real concern is the grappling aspect. But with ALDEN CORIA, we've seen his takedown defense. It's pretty decent. Good stand-up striking. He doesn't have that much power to take NICOLL out, but because we saw how Costa took NICOLL, and it took a while, you know. And Costa has great power. You know, I'm not trying to do MMA math or anything, but we see NICOLL handle some of the shots to the head. He has a decent enough chin. So I would think ALDEN CORIA gets this done by decision. But definitely definitely beating NICOLL here. This is a no-brainer, and anybody telling you otherwise is just chasing value. Next, we got the light heavyweight bout of Felipe Franco taking on LEVI Rodriguez Jr. LEVI Rodriguez Jr., he's 5-0 as a prospect. Now, we don't see much tape on him. He calls himself Baby Monster. Even though he's 6 foot, guy is pretty big. He is pretty big. 5-0. He's knocked out everybody that he's fought. Going up to the 3rd round, he still keeps the power in the 3rd round and the 2nd round. So he doesn't slow down. I'm going by some tape studies. He has decent takedown defense. He has good power, but he likes to run forward. It's amazing how he wins anything, honestly. Guy lunges forward, swinging wild. But he keeps his hands very low, but he has decent movement when he's on the defense. He has good sprawls. He's going up against Felipe Franco, who's coming off of his UFC debut that was up in heavyweight against Mario Pinto. He showed grit, he showed determination, but going up in a heavyweight when he's naturally light heavyweight, it was a big weight gain. He was pretty sluggish. He has one-punch knockout power. He does shoot for takedowns. He has good lateral movement. He has good entries for those takedowns. Likes to shoot some double legs. I'm going to go with the faster, heavy-handed, more well-rounded fighter, Felipe Franco. Give me the dog here at plus 155. And I keep refreshing the page. Maybe there's a mistake. I don't see why LEVI is minus 185. He has 5 knockout wins. That's great. But Franco has great speed. He has great endurance. He has durability. He's gotten hit a few times in the last fight, up in heavyweight. I think Franco is the more well-rounded fighter. And with the low hands coming from LEVI over here, LEVI low hands is what I'm calling him. He doesn't protect his chin. And with the power coming back from Franco, he's probably going to get a knockout. I'm going to take the dog here. I'm going to take him by knockout. I wish I could bet that right now, honestly. Next up on UFC Fight Night, we have a welterweight bout. We have Jean-Paul Abashiani taking on SEOKHYEON Ko. SEOKHYEON Ko is surprisingly the favorite here. He's a minus 200. He is 13-2 in his professional career, and he is listed as a grappler. Although that's not typically what you'll see. You'll see him come forward, he'll swing a little bit, and when he gets to the clinch, he'll use judo to throw you. He is a BJJ purple belt. Now, he does lean back. In his style, he stands very straight up. He had good cardio when he was fighting Cavalcanti on the Dana White Contender Series, and Cavalcanti is a first-round finisher. So he was able to stay safe. He does have 2 knockout losses on his record, but that's not really too telling. Also, there's not much tape on it. But when I was researching it and asking questions, I found that he was hit a lot and the volume took him out overall. It's not that he's necessarily chinny. He has good takedown defense, as we saw in the oh shoot, it's getting away from me right now. The Obot Elliott fight. Obot Elliott, he was trying to take him down. He was able to stay up on his feet. He had good takedown defense. He has a good chin, like I said. He's very technical. He has like a karate type style. He's decent with his power too. As you can see in his wins, he has 6 out of 13 by KO. That hasn't translated in the UFC. He fought Phil Rowe. He fought Obot Elliott. And it's all going to decisions. So I'm assuming he beat a bunch of cans here on the AFC 29. His last opponent before making his Dana White's Contender Series was 7-8. Alwyn Kinkai. Doesn't look so good. He's not necessarily the finisher as we expected. He's taking on Jean-Paul Abashiani, who has tremendous hype behind him. He's a freestyle fighter who has tremendous power in both hands. He'll switch stances and he'll get you out of there with both hands and his leg kicks. Now, he's very light on his feet, and he was sucked into a brawl against, I believe it was Carlyle. I know words. I have the best words. Spike Carlisle. He was sucked into the brawl, and that's how he got knocked out. But since then, this is going back in 2023. No, I'm sorry, 2019, where he was sucked into that brawl, and he hasn't done that as of late. So that's good to know that he's learning through his years. He's still young. He's 27 years old. He's going to be the younger fighter, I may add. He has good pressure, and when he does pressure you and he hits you, he does go for level changes into double legs. That might not work here, because SEOKHYEON keeps his hips tremendously, like they're back. He has an awkward style where he's just laying back, almost like an Alex Pereira in a sense, with the hips being back. Good hip control. When someone's trying to take him down, he's able to push them back and reverse positions. Now, hypothetically, if Jean-Paul goes for a takedown and SEOKHYEON does reverse and ends up on top, Jean-Paul does have submissions off of his back. Now, he has 5 submissions and 3 knockouts out of his 10 wins. He was knocked out twice, but like I said, he was sucked into a brawl. The second time, it was a back and forth against a good power hitter in Jacoby Jones. He has tremendous power, but when he flipped the positions over, a lot of elbows rained down on Jean-Paul and got him out of there. The cuts, the bleeding, it was just too much for him. But it's not, again, not necessarily chinny. We see both of these guys, both of their losses are by knockout, and it doesn't really show in their fights. They have a tremendous chin, both guys. Give me the dog here. I'm going to go with Jean-Paul Lebosnyoani. And when I first saw this, because I know the hype behind him, I'm very surprised he's the dog. I think it's going to flip come fight week, closer to Saturday, because, like I said, a lot of people like this guy. He has great backing, but for good reason. I think he's the better fighter here. He's the better striker. Not sure if he should mix in the takedowns. I don't think that's going to necessarily work against SEOKHYEON. Yeah, let's go Jean-Paul. Next up, Austin Bashi taking on Jose Miguel Delgado. This is going to be one of the best fights of the card. I think Delgado is an amazing striker, and Bashi is an incredible wrestler. Now, first, let's talk about Bashi. He's 14-1. He lost his debut against C-Rod by decision, questionably so, and C-Rod is the prospect destroyer. So, but he's 24 years old, and he's still young in his career. Although he does weird things on Instagram with food, I think he's still a good fighter. I think he has great power in his hands. He has a nice high guard, and he has powerful hands. You could hear the thudding shots. He has good cardio. He has good entries when he's shooting takedowns and doubles. And he has good cardio. He can go a hard 3. He's taking on Jose Miguel Delgado, who's a striker. He switches stances a lot. He has power in both hands. He has good combinations. He mixes in his wrestling from time to time. You saw that in the Dana White's Contender Series. He got multiple takedowns. Although he's mostly a striker, but he's diverse, and I like that. He has a good chin, good footwork, and we saw that he has good takedown defense. So, let me see. Which fight was I just watching where his takedown defense was incredible? Against Nathaniel Wood. Amazing. He really just stuffed multiple takedowns. He put his hips into it, and he had good sprawls. This is a very difficult fight to pick, because I think both are great fighters. But we're gonna go with Delgado. The power coming back, the cardio. This is gonna go a hard 3. I don't think it's going to end inside the distance. Although if it does, I can see Delgado knocking out Bashi. The power, the submission threat. He has 4 submissions on his record, 6 knockouts. This guy is a finisher. And he's been to 1 decision, which was, I took it to end in this. It was Nathaniel Wood, where he bloodied him up, dropped him. They both got dropped. It was an amazing fight. He lost 2 decisions. early in his career. But he's never been finished. Neither guy has been finished. I think this is going to be the first time Delgado finishes. I think Bashi gets finished. I'm going to say a round 2 knockout, I believe. Let's go with Delgado here. We have Fatima KLINE taking on Tabitha Baby Shark RICCI. Fatima KLINE, she's 9-1 in her professional career. She's listed as a grappler with a nice improved Muay Thai base. She is the minus 360 favorite. She's going to have the longer reach. She's going to be the taller woman, but everyone's taller than Tabitha RICCI here. She has won her last 3 fights, even though losing her debut to Jazz Davicius, where she was used clinch work and got Fatima KLINE down. Now that translates well here because Tabitha RICCI is a grappler too. She likes to use judo to throw people as well. So this seems like a little bit of a wide tag for a minus 360. I'm actually picking Tabitha RICCI here. She's much more mobile. She's active. She's pumping out jabs. She's closing the distance. And if she gets close to Fatima and she's grappling her, she might, with that lower center of gravity, she might be able to take her down. Use judo throws and trips and hold her, just like we saw Jasmine Davicius do. And Jazzy, she's good. She is 15-4. She is a high-level UFC fighter at this point. She came off of her decision win against Karine Silva, which is a big deal. Although getting knocked out by Manafaro, but Manafaro is levels above these women. I do like the movement from Fatima KLINE, but if Tabitha can shut off the cage, cut it off, and then get hands on Fatima, I think she's going to be able to have some success here. Give me the plus 275 dog in Tabitha RICCI. Let's start our main card. We have Tommy McMillan taking on Alberto Montes. Battle of the prospects here. Let me just pull up their screen so we can talk about it in further detail. Alberto Montes, he's 12-1 in his professional career. He has 1 knockout loss ranging back in 2021. He's a grappler, but he has good boxing fundamentals, and he has good BJJ. Although he can be taken down, he does reverse positions. He has good scrambles. He can be pressured. He can be hit. Although he has a high guard, he still has a good chin, and when he does swing, he has combinations. You could see a lot of his submissions are by a Darce or an Anaconda. When someone is shooting on him or when their neck is low enough, he likes to snatch it up in transition. He's taking on Tommy McMillan, the prodigy of Sugar Sean O'Malley. He is 10-0, and majority of his wins are by submission and knockout. 5 subs, 4 KOs. Now, he went to a decision in his Dana White's Contender Series, which was a brawl. I just rewatched it. I loved that fight. You see how he was just an absolute dog. He was taken down. He was beat up. His neck was twisted, and he still kept coming forward. Now, my problem with him is his hands are incredibly low, and he could be a bit chinny. He was dropped. He was dropped the very first round. He's a bit too hittable. He has good sprawls when people are attempting to take him down, but he also can be taken down. He can be, not that he can be submitted, but it was awfully close. Now, these are dead even odds. You could see that there's going to be a reach discrepancy, a height discrepancy, that Tommy McMillan, an age discrepancy. Tommy McMillan is going to have the advantage in all of these fields. It's a bit of a coin toss because Tommy McMillan keeps his hands low. Alberto has crisp boxing, but both guys can be hit. But we've only seen one guy dropped. So I gotta go Alberto Montes here. You brawl the boxer, you box the brawler. I think Alberto Montes is going to box. He's going to have better striking. And if it gets to the ground, which it could, he might be able to submit Tommy McMillan. We've seen Montes hit, and he keeps coming forward. He wasn't flinching from the shots. Tommy, he gets hit by everything. I don't like how hittable both guys are. It is amazing that Tommy is 10-0 and Alberto is 12-1 because both guys, like I said, they're rock'em sock'em robots. The pick will be Alberto here. I could see by submission because what I just witnessed with the David Magalian fight, he had one submission on his belt. He's 9-1, but he had Tommy McMillan in a lot of danger. I didn't even know your neck could twist that way. Nonetheless, we're going Montes here. What are we doing here? Chase Hooper is a -305 in this match, and I hate it. I absolutely hate it. He's going against Mitch Ramirez. Mitch Ramirez is looking for his first win in the UFC. He hasn't been given a chance, though. He's fought Thiago Moises, Mike Davis, where he was taken down by both guys. Now, he's known as a striker with power in his hands because 5 out of his 8 wins are by knockout, but he's getting knocked out by people. He's being taken down by people. He's not the best fighter. He swings a bit wild. Although he has good power, he still has to connect that. He will shoot for his own takedowns, but unfortunately when he does, after a while, it plays a toll on him. We saw him in the Mike Davis fight where he was gassing hard round 2. His cardio is not the best. He's taking on Chase Hooper, Chinny Chase Hooper. If you've bet him in the past, put him in a parlay, you know exactly what I'm talking about. This kid has been -300 in the last few fights, and he's been knocked out in the last couple of fights. He's almost unbettable. He has good jiu-jitsu, but his hands are pretty low. He gets knocked out. He's not incredibly fast. All of his strikes are pretty telegraphed. He's very flat-footed, and I can't fathom putting him back in a parlay. You might as well take a dog or pass here because it could go one of two ways. If Hooper gets the takedowns, he might be able to control or submit Ramirez. But then Ramirez might be able to knock him out because his hands are low. Both of these guys are not UFC caliber. Don't know why they're on the main card. I would stay away from this fight. If I had to pick, if you put a gun to my head and said, hey, pick somebody for me, I guess Chase Hooper. He has the higher level competition. He has wins in the UFC. Although he's gotten knocked out in his last 2 fights, he beat aging Jim Miller, an aging Clay Guida, an aging Borshev. He beat the twerking king, Jordan Levitt. You know, he had some good submissions. He had 3 submission wins back to back to back. He looked good until he's been getting knocked out. The pick will be Chase Hooper, probably by submission. Although Ramirez hasn't been submitted before, I would stay away from this fight altogether. For our co-main event, we have Christian Leroy Duncan taking on Jared Cannonier. Jared Cannonier is a strong, powerful striker, but he's old. He's 42 years old, and he's slowed down a lot. But out of his 18 wins, he has 11 TKOs. Now, he just came off of a decision loss to MVP, but it's not a terrible loss. Before that, he ruined my parlay. He ruined my bet. I had RoboCop. I had Gregory Rodriguez to knock his ass out. And what happened? He got dropped 3 times. And he stood safe, got back up, and ended up knocking out Rodriguez. And that was my birthday. Ruined my birthday. Just saying, this guy ruined my birthday. But he is going to be the much older fighter. He's slowed down a lot. He keeps a high guard, but even with that high guard, he's getting hit a lot. And he's having 3 out of his 9 losses are by knockout. He's been getting hit and dropped by anybody that can hit anybody and drop anybody. He did survive against Izzy at his time. He did survive Kyle Barajo. And Whitaker. He's been fighting some dangerous guys. But in the past, he got knocked out by Dominic Reyes. He got knocked out recently by Nizadine Imavov. He's not who he used to be, and he's going up against a young, hungry, flashy kickboxer in CLD. And CLD is the minus 290 favorite here, and he should be. He has powerful hands. He likes to switch stances. He has a nice flowing style. He's back and forth. Now he has power in his hands, flying knees, leg kicks. He has good cardio to keep it all up. Is Jared Cannonier still durable? I'm not sure. But we know what CLD is because he fought Robocop and got hit. And he still came forward. He'll clinch up if he's not safe, and he'll recover very well. 10 out of 14 wins by KO. And I think he gets another KO here. I'm going with CLD. Probably by knockout. He has a submission on his belt. That's a little interesting here. Jared's never been submitted, so that's you know. But I'm going with CLD confidently here. Next, for our main event of the evening, we have Dricus Du Plessis, DDP, taking on Kamaru Usman. Kamaru Usman, he's a staple in this division. He was a champion. He is 39 years old now, but with a record of 21-4, he's still pretty good. And he is a very strong wrestler. He's coming off of that dominant decision over Joaquin Buckley, where he got the takedowns, and that's all he needed. Joaquin lost power towards the end, and he has this strange idea to keep kicking against a wrestler and just keep getting taken down. He's done that against Sean Brady. Now, the issue I'm having is he was on a 3-fight losing streak, but he lost to Leon Edwards, who was the champion in this division. He lost to Hamza, who was the better wrestler. But then before that, he hasn't lost he hasn't lost since 2013. So is Usman back? Is his wrestling going to be enough? Because we saw Dricus Du Plessis. We saw him in his last fight against Hamzat, where he was wrestled and taken down relentlessly. Dricus, he's 32 years old, so he's going to be the younger fighter. They both have the same reach, but he's a kickboxer with a grappling base. As you can see in Dricus's wins, he has 11 submissions. Now, that hasn't really translated too much in the UFC, except for when he submitted Israel Adesanya and Darren Till. That's about it. Most of his submissions come early on. He's going to be the huge favorite. He's minus 275. Now, most of you will say, why would you pick Kamaru in this matchup? Because we've seen Dricus. He comes forward. He's aggressive. He swings heavy. But he gets taken down. And now when you guys say, like, well, he got taken down and wrestled by Hamzat. Hamzat's good. Okay. What about Derek Brunson? Derek Brunson's good, right? He was taken down several times in that fight in round 1. Yes, the gas tank was questionable. Dricus got his nose fixed. They both had questionable gas tanks at that time. Now, we've seen when Dricus gets taken down, he doesn't involve his legs. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't try to get back up. He's a fish out of water. He's just laying there. He's just laying there, menacingly. I'm picking Kamaru Usman. I'm going with, if it's not broken, don't fix it. Why are we going with somebody that's shown his takedown defense is atrocious? And not only his takedown defense, his get-up game. If Usman takes him down and holds him there with the 5-round experience, although DDP has that experience, most of his experience in the 5 rounds is just laying there with Hamzat. Now, we've seen him get taken down. We've seen this story before. Why are we having these odds so wide? Minus 275? I'm taking the dog here. Plus 225. Lock it in. That's the video, guys. Thank you for being here. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Keep in mind, we did lose a main card. We lost Kevin Holland versus Jacoby Smith because Kevin Holland got hurt. A couple people dropped out. A lot of newcomers here. So look for update videos in the future, in this week. And look out for my Danger Zone and a bunch of my bets coming down. I'm already cracking it all together. I'm in the lab. All right, guys. I'll see you later.